हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल। तो पिला माने प्लस टू सेकेंड ईयर जो तुम बोर्ड परीक्षा अच्छी 2024 है जो तुम इंग्लिश अच्छी कंपलसरी पेपर आर्ट साइंस कॉमर्स समस्त आज आम इम्पोर्टेंट सिलेक्टिव क्वेश्चन गुड़िक डिस्कसन करवा। तो वीडियो लास्ट पर्यंत देखिए, जमार स्किप करेंगे ना। तो फास्ट आम देखिए जो तुम इंग्लिश अच्छी इंग्राजी अच्छी क्यों क्यों माने विभाग रू केते तुम मार्क पड़ो है क्वेश्चन देखी पड़ो बढ़े क्वेश्चन पैटर्न आप इंग्लिश अच्छी। फास्ट आपंकर अच्छी जे जो तुम फास्ट आपंकर प्रोज पोएट्री एवं स्टोरी रू तुम 23 मार्क पड़ो। तापर इंग्लिश ग्रामर जो अच्छे एमसीक्यू पड़ो आपंकर 15 मार्क। तापर प्रोज पोएट्री एंड स्टोरी 2 मार्क्स पड़ो तुम 2 2 2 ये 12 मार्क। तापर डिक्शनरी स्किल रू आपंकर आसो 5 मार्क। तापर पाई चार्ट और डायग्राम रू आसो 5 मार्क। कम्प्रेhension पैसेज रू आसो आपंकर 5 मार्क। वोकाबुलरी स्किल रू आसो 5 मार्क। नोट मेकिंग रू आसो 5 मार्क और रिपोर्ट राइटिंग रू आसो 5 मार्क। टोटाल 80 मार्क आता मैंने आपंकर एग्जाम हम। तापर आम देखा सिलेक्टिव क्वेश्चन जे क्यों क्यों माने चैप्टर रू तुम किन सिलेक्टिव क्वेश्चन आसार संभावना बेसी अच्छे। तो फास्ट आम देखा प्रोज रू प्रोज सेक्शन रू क्यों क्यों तुम सिलेक्टिव क्वेश्चन ऑन एग्जामिनेशन क्वेश्चन आसार संभावना अच्छी। फास्ट देख पे मैंने होम डज चर्चिल गिव द क्रेडिट ऑफ हिज सक्सेस इन द एंट्रांस एग्जामिनेशन। सेकेंड इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन होची हाउ डिड चर्चिल प्रिपेयर हिमसेल्फ फॉर द प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन फॉर द आर्मी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन व्हाट इज चर्चिल ओपिनियन अबाउट मिस्टर सोमरवेल एज ए टीचर। नेक्स्ट at what age did Churchill enter the inhospitable division of examination. Next, which were the favorite subject of Churchill at Harrow? What were the dearest subject to the examiner? Next, what did Churchill write in the answer book for the Latin paper? Next, Mr. Samuel had a system of his own justify. What does his line implies? तापर तो लेडी पोएट्री ऑफ सॉरी द पोर्ट्रेट ऑफ ए लेडी चैप्टर आम देखा जे एठार कौन कौन क्वेश्चन आसबार संभावना अच्छी। फास्ट देख पे मैंने व्हाई वाज इट हार्ड फॉर द ऑथर टू बिलीव दैट हिज ग्रांड मदर वाज वंस यंग एंड प्रिटी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हाउ डिड द ग्रांडफादर अपीयर इन हिज पोर्ट्रेट। नेक्स्ट हाउ डज द ऑथर पोर्ट्रेट हिज ग्रांड मदर। नेक्स्ट व्हाट लेसन डिड द राइटर लर्न फ्रॉम द विलेज priest. Next, how did the grandmother spend her time at the temple? Next, why could not the grandmother help the writer with his lesson at the city school? Next, why did the lesson at the school English school distress the grandmother? Next, what was the happiest time of the day of for grandmother in city? Next आम देखा द मैजिक ऑफ टीम वर्क कण कण आसो तुम। First, what is the central problem of team work that affect the progress of India? Next, what is the craft mentality? Next, what are the quality of a good team players? Next, what does split level consciousness mean? What does a good work ethic implies? Next, what is impossible in India according to the writer's view? Next, the price of pollution कौन कौन आसीबो? What is the main cause of pollution in Hong Kong? Next, which is the worst time of the year in Delhi according to the writer and why? Next, where are buses preferable to cars as a mode of transport in cities? Next, why do children suffer more than adults from pollution? Next, what kind of pollution are our city mostly suffering from? Next, what are the most important cause of pollution in India? Next, what are the common pollutants? Next, what kind of health problem are caused by pollution? Next, what could be done to overcome the problem of pollution? ये मैंने इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन मैंने बहुत इंपोर्टेंट। तो चैनल को निहाती सब्सक्राइब करूँ और वीडियो को लाइक करूँ। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट आम देखा द बैलेड ऑफ फादर गिलिगन रु कौन कौन आसो व्हाई वाज फादर गिलिगन वेरी। नेक्स्ट व्हाई डिड ही सीक फॉरगिवनेस। Next, what was the reaction of father Gilligan when he woke up from his deep sleep. Next, bring out the meaning of the expression he wrote, now he is never wrote. Next, where did the sick man wife say, Father, you come again? Next, who come to the sick man before his death and why? What made Father Gilligan kneel and pray? Next, a piece lamb of life कौन आसबार संभावना अच्छी देखो. What does Longfellow say about life? Next, what does Longfellow say about the goal of life? Next, what do the lives of great men remind us? Next, what does the poet tell us about the future and the past? Next, what is the significance of image muffled tombs? What is the meant by the line dust out art to dust house returnest? Next, in the Divonios of life explain. Next, television रो देखिबा कौन आसीबा. What important things does the poet says about children and the televisions? Next, how do children spend their times with the televisions? How do children behave while watching TVs? How does TVs become a harmful addiction for children? Next, why do parents let their children watch TV? He cannot think, he only see. What does he refers to? तापर मनी बैंडेज को देखिबा. Are all the people of world made for money? Next, how does a person feel when he part with a pound of money? Next, what kind of feeling does money create in us? How do money made men trade men without money? Next, where does the poet says we must have some money? Next, do you think bread, shelter and fear should be free? Next, तापर स्टोरी रो देखिबा सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन कौन कौन आसीबार संभावना रही. मिस्ट्री ऑफ द मिसिंग कैप. फास्ट आपण को देखो. हु इज बाबू बीरकिशोर? हाउ डज द narrator describe him? Next, how did Sri Moharana entertain the guest? Next, what type of culture program had been arranged by children to greet the ministers? How did the minister cap disappear? What does the narrator says about Jhandu? Next, how did Sri Moharana feels about the loss of the caps? Next, how did Mr. Moharana explain about the reason behind the missing cap? Next, monkey paw sura में देखिए. First question, what was special about the monkey's paw? Next, how did the first owner of the monkey's paw use it? Next, what did Morris says about how to use the monkey's paw? What was his warning to the whites? Next, what was the first wish? How was it made? Next, why did not Mr. White want to make the second wishes? Next, bring him back. Do you think I would fear my own son? Why does Mr. White say so? Next, why did not Mr. White want to make the second wish? Next, bring him back. Do you think I would fear my own son? Why do Mr. White says that? Next, Maya Mothers को देखिए. First question आपको important होची. Give a brief description of the vaudevillians. Next, narrate a sketch on Campion's father. Next, why did Campion's mother walk off the stages? Describe Campion's first appearance on the stage and his mother last. Who gave the chance to Chaplin to sing a song and why? Which song he did song? Next, what was the first experience of singing of Chaplin? Next, state hungry state police रो में देखिबा. आपको important question. First होची हमर करो. What does Job says about his mother? Next, what does he says about his studies at Reed College? Next, why did the drop out from college? Next, how did Job set up the Apple Inc? Next, how did he lose his position in Apple company? Next, how does Job views death? What was Job's farewell message? तो पिला माने यहाँ थिला आपनकर इंग्लिश जो अच्छी +2 रो CHSE इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन गुड़ाक बोर्ड परीक्षा 2026 तो आशा करी वीडियो भल लगी वीडियो जो भल लगे वीडियो को लाइक करेंगे चैनल को जो नुआ अच्छा सब्सक्राइब करेंगे बेल आइकन को क्लिक करेंगे जहाँद्वारा समस्त नोटिफिकेशन सर्वप्रथम पाइपर तो एमती अन्य सब्जेक्ट आम चैनल ऑलरेडी इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन अपलोड कर दी आपने देखिपारे पॉलिटिकल साइंस है एजुकेशन है एमती अन्य धीरे धीरे अपलोड कर देखिपारे थैंक यू फॉर वाचिंग दिस वीडियो।